This lighting's kind of cozy. What do you think? Daylight. Fake light. I guess the quality of the camera is better. The daylight option. What do you think? I guess we'll do this lighting. Hey again, it's Liz. I don't know if you can tell that this is the same makeup that I've had for the past 3 or 4 videos. I'm filming all on the same day. Can you tell, even though I changed shirts? We'll see. So, I wanted to make the space and the time to do a small TBR for the upcoming month. In June, I probably read like, not as much as some others, but for me, I read a lot of books. I think I went through maybe like 10 or 12. I'll have to actually count at some point in this video. I kind of wanted to make some plans for July and, you know, see what you guys are all reading. I'm trying to branch out of YA, but I think there's a lot of YA on this TBR. Oops. So if you've got recommendations that are not YA, I'm so stoked to hear them. So the first book that I have is A Conspiracy of Stars. A few weeks ago, I got a really big hankering for sci-fi, and I bought all of these sci-fi books, mostly YA, because I think that adult sci-fi is a little harder to get into, so help me, help me, help me. I bought all of these sci-fi books, and then I jumped into fantasy and didn't read any of them. So Conspiracy of Stars, I believe that it follows somebody who is like a botanist going to a different planet and, you know, uncovering a conspiracy. So I'm excited to hopefully finally read this book this month. Another book I'm hoping to either read in July or read before then, maybe, you know, between posting and filming and posting this, is A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. I'm not too sure how I'm gonna like it, mainly because I don't really care for assassin stories much anymore if there's assassins. You know, I haven't really been feeling court intrigue as much, but I did read Wicked Saints and Ruthless Gods, and even though I didn't think I was gonna like it, and even though I had problems with like the pacing and the prose, I actually really enjoyed a lot of the characters in it, and I really gravitated towards the can you even call it a romance? So I'm hoping that this book that everybody's been, you know, reading and buying and talking about, I'm hoping that I'll like it too. So it's a really pretty cover, so I'm happy to own it. Another book that has been on my TBR forever is With the Fire on High, and I think that it's going to be a really cool story about a woman, you know, young woman, almost a child, I don't know, but a young woman who has, you know, barriers in her way, but she's got plans and she's got things that she loves doing, like cooking, and I'm really excited to see, you know, her story and her growth, and I really like family dynamics, so I'm hoping that like her family, including her daughter and either her mother or her grandmother, I'm hoping to really get a look into them and how they are connected, and I'm really excited to read this book. Actually, let me take the dust jacket off because it's a really pretty book. I just really like all of the fruit on it and the flowers. I think it's a cute book, so I'm really excited to read it. I read An Enchantment of Ravens in June, and it was good. I liked it. I know that there are people who didn't care for it as much. They felt like there wasn't enough action in the story, that the plot didn't have much going for it. But I think that, you know, just how awkward the two main characters were with each other, I felt like they were awkward. Really kind of made it shine, and she's kind of the main character in that book. She kind of feels like she knows what's going on, and or at least with herself and like what she can do. So I really liked that in a protagonist. So I was really happy it was a standalone book, or I hope to God it was a standalone book. So I picked up Sorcery of Thorns by the same author. The main character and I have the same name, I believe. Let's look. Yeah, she's got an S, I have a Z. It's okay, it's okay. We're unique. But things about a library, maybe? I've been wanting to read that. So I'm hoping that if I like this YA with the library, I can maybe branch out into like some other more adult titles that I have that have to do with libraries. I don't know. I'm excited. It's a pretty cover. I like the sword. I don't know. I'm excited. Another YA. Oh, I see. I did end up with a lot of YA. Girls of Paper and Fire. I had wanted to read this last summer, but I ran out of time before going to Japan. So I'm really hoping to read this. I think most people know what it's about, but it's basically these young girls who are taken by this king to be his concubines. And I hear there's a lot of trigger warnings for it, but it's an FF romance, and I'm really excited to see, you know, how they get through what they have to go through and how they connect with each other. And it's also another pretty cover. Is there a sequel coming out? I don't know. From my probably last ever book of the month box, because of what I've heard happened on Instagram with silencing a Black author's voice, and I don't like that. And I think that even though Book of the Month has had some really great diverse titles in this past month or two, that kind of action from their PR or whoever runs their Instagram kind of tells me that they're all talk, and so I'm going to be looking into canceling my Book of the Month subscription soon. But I picked up All Adults Here. I don't remember at all what it's about. Let's see. Coming of age isn't just for kids. Alright, I don't need to look at it anymore. I know I'm going to have to read it. So I hope it's good. All Adults Here by Emma Straub. I don't know how to pronounce last names. And then my last hopeful read for July, maybe I'll end up reading more, maybe I'll end up reading less, but the last thing on my, okay, this is what I want to get done in July, is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Maybe I'll have to make a full video about how I feel about her books and her writing. I started the Throne of Glass series and I got through most of it, but at a certain point I kind of dropped off. I felt like the series could have ended a lot sooner, and still been really great. And her Court of Thorns and Roses series, I won't say that it's good, but I think that the second and third book are kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I was really upset that Thorns and Roses was a Beauty and Beast retelling. But anyway, that's another video. I'll write that down. This is a adult urban fantasy, I believe. So I've been wanting to read an adult urban fantasy. I've been thinking about reading A Darker Shade of Magic. When I started to read that one, it didn't really grab me all that much, but maybe I'll give it another chance. But I'm really excited to read this. It's huge. I'm really excited it's a series because I feel like there could be more standalone books in the world. But this is what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, that's it for my TBR for July. If you have any recommendations for standalone sci-fi, standalone fantasy that are maybe adult, young adult, maybe not so much young adult, really hit me up. I'm hoping to borrow more books from the library and maybe buy a few books, but between Book of the Month, you know, being Book of the Month, and Book Outlet being Book Outlet, getting cheap books easily right now is not really a thing, but maybe as more businesses open up safely, or maybe I should look into, you know, some businesses, used book businesses, see if they have online platforms. Maybe I can get some used books, but you know, I'll have to make do with the library, and I'm really excited to read these books, and yeah, give me your recommendations.